In this video series, I plan to cycle down to each of the 8 cities of Delhi. These brief visits may not do justice to their rich historical legacy, but I do promise to pick a few select pages from the past and share them with you. In the process, I hope to encourage you to visit these areas which make Delhi one of the most culturally rich cities in the world. In this vlog, I pick the threads of this new series from Surajkund, a township that came up just prior to the establishment of Delhi's first city. The route to Surajkund follows one of the most picturesque roads in Delhi. En route falls the Tughlaqabad Fort that came up as the third city of Delhi. But more about that later. Immediately after the fort wall starts, the road turns towards the Tughlaqabad shooting range. This is one of the few meandering and undulating roads of Delhi that passes by acres of jungles and wildlife sanctuaries. After the up and down of the road, just across the Delhi-Haryana border, comes a gate that allows entry into the area where the Surajkund International Fair is organized every year. Closer to Surajkund, the first sight that greets a visitor is a miniature Char Minar monument. This is followed by replicas of the Bhimbetka caves. And just a little further is a unique gate that welcomes visitors and is a treat to watch. Some of you may be familiar with the Surajkund Crafts Mela. The fair is organized every year during the winters and is a great draw for shopping and cultural activities. Just opposite this area is the entry gate to the Surajkund. Up the steps and with a ₹15 ticket, you are suddenly transformed back into history. The sight is captivating to say the least. One is greeted by a large oval-shaped reservoir that stored water for the people of the area. Steps go all around and down towards the Kund floor. There is a distinct raised tiered area right across, and it is suggested that this had a sun temple at one time, which makes sense given that the reservoir is called Surajkund. With few visitors around, most company within the area actually comes from the extended families of monkeys lazing, sprawling and playing blissfully unperturbed by human presence. Needless to say, without buying the mandatory tickets, they cause a serious financial loss to the Archaeological Survey of India. It was a soothing feeling just sitting and gazing into the distance, imagining the beginning of the Tomar rule established by Anangpal in the 8th century AD. In fact, you can still locate a village called Anangpur near Surajkund. A brief stay and I was on my way towards Saket. The Tomars had shifted to Lalkot near Mehrauli sometime in the 11th century. However, they did not stay there too long. Prithviraj Chauhan, the famous ruler of Ajmer, took over the area from them and it was enlarged and renamed as Kila Rai Pithoda, creating the first city of Delhi. The best place to see the remnants of the fort walls is adjacent to the Qutub Golf Course. Incidentally, the golf course is also enclosed behind the erstwhile walls of the fort, packaging it within an area rich in culture and history. The entry into the area is free. Immediately on arrival, one is greeted by a circular under construction library with a statue of Prithviraj Chauhan atop it. It gives the impression of the great king surveying his fort walls from the vantage position of the elevated library roof. The lush green lawns of the area are bisected by walls of varying height depending on their state of degradation and destruction over centuries. These walls not only include the ones represented by Kila Rai Pithoda, but also the 4th city of Delhi, Jahanpana, which I intend to cover in a later video. The sturdy width of the walls clearly indicates the strength of the fort in all its glory. It also suggests the general alignment of the fort area with some parts of Mehrauli also within its boundaries. This fort also represented a shift in the rulers of Delhi. With Muhammad Ghori defeating Prithviraj Chauhan, it was left to one of the generals of Ghori, Qutubuddin Aibak, to take over the first city of Delhi, which combined Kila Rai Pithoda and Mehrauli. With this as the prelude, I will cover details of the Mehrauli complex in my next vlog. Until then, goodbye.